Welcome back, everyone, to the Buds Mafia YouTube channel. I'm Ryan, as always, and today, just like last week, we will be, or at least I will be creating the Team USA 2030 Olympic roster. They're going to try to go for the repeat. Hopefully, it doesn't happen, but they do have some studs and a lot of returners, but also some guys who I think are shoo-ins to make the team, who did make the team this time go around, but in 4 years, I think there's no brainer they'll make this team. A lot of guys moving down the depth rosters because of age and new guys coming up, but let's get into it and build the 2030 USA Olympic roster.
Tavares coming out, sends it in a goal. They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score! Morgan Riley! Mo Riley! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round!
Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5! Oh, the play of the year in the NFL!
So let's get into it. We're going to do the same thing as last time, go through the forwards, the defense, goalies, and then the extras. So let's get kind of the main ones out of the way, and that is, there we go, Jack Hughes. No brainer here. I mean, at the Four Nations, he got a lot of criticism. The Olympics, he's arguably their best forward, or at least most dynamic forward. He obviously scores the golden goal. He'll be 27, 28 next Olympics, right in the middle of his prime. I know he's a natural center, but with his skill level, I don't think it's hard for him to adapt to playing the wing. And his centerman is going to be none other than Poppy. He's still going to be in his prime. He's going to be like 31, 32 years old. Will he still be on Toronto? That's up for debate. But so at that age, he's still going to be a proven winner. One of the best two-way forwards in the entire NHL. He's definitely going to be the captain again, so no brainer there. And then his winger, Matt Boldy. I thought Matthews and Boldy had a great chemistry at the 2026 Olympics. Boldy, I mean, I think Billy Guerin said on Spin Chicken, so you can see him being a 40 and 40 guy. This guy might become a 50 and 50 guy. He's incredible. He's big. He's strong. He's a great shot. He has great hands and tight. And by that time, 27 years old, he'll be an absolute superstar. So I like the dynamic of that first line. The second line could be some changes here, and I got Jason Robertson. You could argue that Billy Guerin does not want this fucking guy anywhere near Team USA, but I just think the trajectory he is on, he'll be just under 30 years old by next tournament. He's been one of the best USA scorers in the past few years. He's a 40 and 40 guy like Matt Boldy. Maybe his defense will improve in that time frame, but with other guys, maybe that top six at this tournament getting older and maybe more fit for a depth role on this type of lineup, I think you need the office from Jason Robertson, and I think these next 4 years, he's going to light it up, so he'll leave Billy Guerin no choice to be on this team. Then his centerman, Jack Eichel, again, no debate, similar as Matthews, still one of the best two-way setters of the whole league, can fly. That's where this matchup I was iffy about, just because Robertson's not really known for his boots, but I just think every situation he's been put in, he's dominated. So I like this matchup. And then a guy on the right side I have Cutter Richard within the next, honestly, 2 or 3 years. He has like 33 goals right now. He'll be 26 by the time his tournament happens. Him and Leo Carlsson have been incredible, and I think listed as a left winger, but I think he plays right a lot with Leo Carlsson. I think maybe Kreider on that left side of Anaheim. This guy can fly. He's big, strong, just like Eichel, and just put it on a T for him, and he's going to put it in the back of the net. So that top six has a little bit of everything, has some two-way depth down the middle, some wingers on the wingers who can score and who are very dynamic as well with some size. And then going down to the depth, Matthew Knies, this is kind of a homer pick. I'm very biased, but people saying this has been a down year for Knies, all that crap. But for a down year, for 51 points in 60 games, I'd take that as a down year. It's pretty solid. The way he plays, and he may have gained too much weight, honestly, but no, I think he is an incredible player, and I'm confident that he'll be on this team. Sorry, guys, my camera's not working, but we're going to continue with this video. So like I said, Matthew Knies, I think is such a unicorn style of play and playing a third line on a team like this, and I think he plays a style of play that Billy Guerin loves, and I do think he'll be right for this tournament, and he'll still be like 27 years old by the time it happens. And then I actually have Logan Cooley. If his injury didn't happen this year, we could have really seen a monster offensive production season. Is he that typical, third line center type of player? No, but I do think he can adapt, and I think Matthew Knies on his wing can help a lot. And his other side, Will Smith. I think Will Smith is not just Celebrini's partner. I think he is an incredible player himself. He was drafted 4th overall for a reason. That's a young line, but I think they all provide something different. I think they can gel really well together. And then the fourth line, I'm just going to bring them all out right now. That's just a line you don't want to play against the Tkachuk brothers and Larkin. I have them on the fourth line because the way they play, and by the way, the time, like, I mean, Larkin will be like 32, Tkachuk, Matthew will be like 31, maybe 29, which is still not like super old, but the way they play, they're known for their boots. Maybe Brady's a bit more, obviously Larkin is, but I just think that's a fourth line that can do it all. You don't want to be matched up against them. That's going to be a line that's going to be glued to McDavid, you'd think, maybe, and I think that's a line that's going to cause some havoc. We're back here. By the way, if you guys have any recommendations for cameras, I use the Nexigo camera, and it sucks ass. Like, the quality's okay, but it disconnects all the time, so let's do a quick little rant there. Between these takes has been taking me fucking forever. But let's get to the decor before the camera just shuts off again. But no question here for the defense. Not a lot of change. I got Quinn Hughes and Brock Faber. Quinn Hughes, one of the best players in the entire NHL, not just defenseman. He was probably the best defense in the entire tournament. By the time, he'll still be like 29 years old. Could have another Norris. Could have a Stanley Cup with Minnesota. You never know. And I know Quinn Hughes and McAvoy played together and were very good. But I truly think Quinn Hughes is going to stay with Minnesota. Maybe not on a 7-8 year deal or 7-year deal, I guess. I just think he's going to stay there, and then him and Faber continue to grow together. And Faber, I think, just basically is a baby McAvoy, and he's a truck as well, incredible defensively. So I think that pairing is basically going to be like a Taves-Makar pairing, but younger and likely better. And then next pairing, I have Lane Hudson and Zach Werenski. I can't see a world where Lane Hudson is not on this team. You could have made an argument that he should have been on the last team, but it worked out pretty well. I think he gets shit on for his defense, but his defense is way better than people think it is. I'm not saying it's shut the lockdown best in the league, but it's a lot better. He's gone to the point where he's at a lot quicker and better than where Quinn Hughes at this age got to. So I think the sky's the limit for Lane Hudson, and I think Zach Werenski obviously is a Norris candidate right now. He's comfortable playing that right side. He can play kind of more of a sit back role. He kind of did that quite a bit in this Olympics in 2026, so I like that pairing. Next pairing, I have Jake Sanderson and Charlie McAvoy. Sanderson's going to keep improving. McAvoy's going to be a well-seasoned vet by then, just absolutely killing guys. He's still only going to be like 31. Sanderson will be 26, so that's a pretty disgusting top six decor. Then there's some extras, Jackson Lacombe and Jacob Slavin. I was close to having Dylan Sandberg in here just because how locked down he is. But Slavin, he'll be 34. That's not too crazy. Kind of like a Drew Doughty, but a lot younger what Drew Doughty was. And I just think the way he plays, he can still skate. His defense will be incredible. He may not even play it, but like I think it's good to have a guy like that on your roster. And Lacombe will just keep getting better and better, and he'll be 29 by that time. I think he'll become a stud. And then goaltending, I got Spencer Knight. I think the numbers he's put up in Chicago for how bad Chicago is, or at least throughout the season, I think he will keep getting better and better, improve to be that top, I think he's like 13th overall, potential type. I think he's going to continue to do that and edge out Jeremy Swayman. And then I'm just going to skip the other two guys. There's no question. Connor Hellebuyck, he's the best goalie in the world. Jake Ottinger will be 30 years old at that time, and Hellebuyck will be 35. And that's just prime goalie age. Like I've talked about it on the podcast, which go give it a listen. Goalies don't really become like elite, or at least in the rare case till like 32, 33 sometimes. Like I know Hellebuyck's been great for a long time. I didn't realize how young he was. He's only like 31 right now, maybe 32, which for goalie, a starting goalie is fairly young. 35, I have no question he's still good. He's going to be even more poised. He's going to be even more calm, and that's scary for the rest of the Olympics. And then two extras I have Ryan Leonard and Tage Thompson. I know people are going to say, where the hell is Cole Caulfield? I just think I'd rather those top six guys there. I know Cole Caulfield, all he does is score, but I'd rather have top six, and you're not playing him in the bottom six, right? So maybe an extra, but I think Ryan Leonard can really become like a Matthew Knies, like a Chuck type player. He can fly. He's gritty. He can hammer guys. I'm a big fan of his game. And Tage Thompson, people are going to say, oh, how's Tage Thompson not maybe that third line center there? He definitely could be. I don't know. I think a 6'6" dynamic scorer who's not really known for his skating. I think by that in 4 more years he'll be like 31. I just think it'll be tough for him to maybe crack the starting lineup. He'll still be an elite player, but I have the younger guys maybe edging him out for a starting role. And all the guys who didn't make the team, I mean Miller and Trocheck, they're just going to be too old at that point. I think Keller, I just think Matthew Knies and the other guys like Will Smith and Ryan Leonard may edge him out. Jake Gensel will be 34. Brock Nelson, 37. I just think those guys will be aging. Gensel will still be an elite player. Nelson, 37, too old. Kyle Connor, I just think Kyle Connor, he's such a great goal scorer. But again, I think I'd rather that top six. And like with Cole Caulfield, I'm not putting him in that bottom six. Noah Hanifin, I just think Noah Hanfin's great. He was a great fill-in guy. We played a great shutdown role, but I'd rather these 8 defensemen. And then Jeremy Swayman. I just think Spencer Knight is going to get to a point where he's just going to edge Swayman out. And Swayman, I think Swayman's a tad overrated. I think a lot of Boston say, if you look at his numbers, they're not crazy. He's still super young for goalies, but I think I'd rather Spencer Knight on that roster. And that's it. That is a Team USA 2030 Olympic roster. Let me know what you think. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know if there's any guys I missed. Tell me if Montreal fans I'm a fucking idiot for leaving Cole Caulfield on. Definitely had Lane Hudson on. That's no brainer. I definitely have Cutter Gauthier on. I think he's a monster. And maybe there's some Gavin McKenna's in America or in college right now that I'm aware of. So let me know. Like I said, go comment, like, subscribe to the Buds Mafia YouTube channel. Subscribe to us on Spotify, as well as follow Buds and Pucks on X, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll see you guys next time.
Tavares coming out, sends it in a goal. They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score! Morgan Riley! Mo Riley! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round!
Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5!